When we start talking about back pain and golf, one of the things that we typically think about a lot is that our lumbar spines, our low backs, they don't rotate very well. And as you could imagine, golf is a very rotationally based sport. In order to take some of the stress off of our low backs, what we have to do is make sure that we can rotate well in our hips here and in our middle backs here. If we can rotate in those two regions directly above and below, it'll spare our low backs. All right. The first way that we go through and treat low back pain, or one of the ways to warm up for a round of golf when we're having low back pain, is to mobilize our hips. And the way we're going to do that is with a hip airplane. We have here a golf club. Hopefully you have some of those with you if you're going to be on the golf course. And the goal of this exercise is going to be to move in a rotation fashion about our hip. What we are going to think about doing is keeping straight from the base of our head down to our heel. We're going to hinge at the hip that's down on the ground. And then what we're going to do is rotate all the way in and all the way back out. Now, what we don't want here is for this to become a balance exercise. We're just trying to warm up our hip rotation. There are other contexts where we might want this to be a balance exercise, but in this situation, in this case, we are going to use this implement to make sure that we're not focusing on our balance. We're really focusing on rotating as far as we can through that hip and not about anything else. The other piece, when we talk low back pain again, was rotation in the middle back. And we're basically going to do a very similar thing. We're going to use the tool here across crossed arms. We're going to kick our hips backwards to make sure we're not using them this time. And everything from shoulder blades to head, we're going to try to rotate in both directions as far as we can. So Andy's going to turn, 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 and then turn back the other way. Now, the goal here, again, is only to rotate through the middle back. It's to not rotate anywhere else. It's not to get as far as possible. If we're trying to get as far as possible, we're going to let some of that rotation happen in places that we don't necessarily want it for this warm-up. But yeah, so as much rotation as you can, isolating it to the middle back.